Hey guys, in this video we're going to be having a look at the Kotobukiya horror Bishoujo. This is the bride of Chucky, Tiffany. We'll grab the tape measure to figure out how tall Tiffany stands. If you put the tape measure close to her, you'll see that she's about 8.5 inches tall. The Chucky that we already had a look at, that came with a yellow Good Guys circular display stand. Tiffany, on the other hand, comes with a Bride of Chucky black display stand, in which the statue is standing on top of. She has one little thing that you have to add when you get her out of packaging, and that is a very small cigarette. In fact, the folks over at Kotobukiya give you 2 cigarettes just in case you do lose one. Judging by the size of it and the fact that you just have to fit it into, there's a little hole in between her 2 fingers here, I could very easily see how something like this would easily be broken or lost, and luckily they give you 2. I quite like the pose that they've got her in, where she's standing on one straight leg and one bent back leg. She does have what looks to be some additional mesh stockings that have been added over top of her legs. Nice sculpting there in the boots, along with the laces. Tiffany here is wearing her bride gown, which has a slight pearl color sort of to the lower skirt area of her gown. And some nice detailing there on the trim area. The top bodice has some nice sculpting there incorporated. Of course, she's got her Chucky tattoo, very predominantly featured. Face is quite pretty. With the horror Bishoujos, they favor a little bit more of an anime look, and I think it works quite well here on Tiffany. Still has things such as her mole right above her lip. I quite like the smile, I must say, on her face. Some nice shading also around her eyes. Also like too that she's got the shading in the top area of her hair, basically where the coloring has started to come back in. Sculpting on the hair actually quite nice too. Turn it all the way around. So nice. I like the curls of her hair right down below here. The Kotobukiya stuff never seems to disappoint, and Tiffany far being any exception to that rule. Like even the little stitching that they've got to the pockets, and you got the little zippers there. They painted in the outer zipper of the collar. It's got an immaculate level of detail, especially going back to like the eyes again. I love the shading that they've got around the eyes. Here's what the Bride of Chucky Chucky and Bride of Chucky Tiffany look like side by side. You can see that they both make use of the circular display stands. It's unfortunate, though, because they look so good together, there's really no way to put them any bit closer than what we got right now. It's simply just because of the fact that, obviously, the display stands can't overlap to one another. What they could have also entertained the idea of doing was making the circles more half moons, where you could have actually overlapped them, almost like I think a Venn diagram, where you could have overlapped the circles together, and you could have brought them a little bit closer. I think by having them showcased closer together is really where the 2 statues would have shined. Instead, they still look good side by side, but I kind of wish, again, that there was an option where you could have brought them a little bit closer together. Now, also the fact that I have Tiffany in my collection, I'd be much more inclined to display Chucky here with a more scarred face, because I think it just kind of goes more hand in hand with his bride next door here. Again, the Chucky would have come with an alternate head sculpt, which is a much more subtle head sculpt. But I do really think that the scarred face looks much better with Tiffany here. The Kotobukiya horror Bishoujo statues are starting to become some of my favorite things to collect. I'm a little behind, unfortunately. I still have to go back and pick up the Jason Voorhees and the Freddy Krueger. And there's also an Edward Scissorhands, which I'm a little on the fence about picking up. I kind of want to stick it a little bit closer more towards the horror characters, but I could probably see myself eventually picking up the Edward Scissorhands as well. Kotobukiya, once again, with a great example of doing things right with a sculpt, a paint, and overall execution. I really quite like this Tiffany. I don't think I like her as much as the Chucky, because the Chucky's just got a lot personality going in her sculpt, but there's nothing to be said really, and nothing can be taken away from Chucky's bride. Tiffany really turned out fantastic. Today we were once again looking at the Kotobukiya. This was the horror Bishoujo statues, and we were looking today at Bride of Chucky, Tiffany. If you guys like this video, certainly hit it with a like down below. And if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe to this channel, make sure you hit that little subscribe button down below. You won't miss a beat when it comes to future videos coming onto this channel. As always, guys, thanks for watching as you always do. See you next time.